Pillage Overload.
Have a care. I told you I hit the light. I got it dead on. Dead on tonight. Dead on.
And we're
Hello,
live.
we got
Hi, everybody.
Shannon and Robert and Sunny Boy and Emily. I'm full of margaritas. Let's show you again. Hey, Clunster. So
Hope
Robert,
your drinks are full because tonight's going to be a full episode.
Robert thought he was first, but he wasn't because we were already on ourselves.
Yeah,
Actually, technically, you would have been third. 1, 2, 3.
You're way behind, sir.
Miss Janet. Why did the wench slap the pirate? Because he yelled out, "Yo ho."
Yo ho.
Oh God, we're on this bad dad pirate jokes, aren't we? So what do you?
Here we go.
So what you're saying is when we see you in April, I need to bring a couple of those and record them.
Oh, she's got plenty of them.
Oh shit!
Don't let her fool you.
I need to get Chad. I need to get Scott. I need to get
we'll
Kid.
get you all.
I'm getting everybody this week.
We've got you.
I'm getting everybody there. I would have been first, but I didn't know I could right before you started. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Whack-a-whack.
We got you, son. You're in our orbit.
Next round, Miss Axon's first. Full round of margaritas. Hi, Bo.
Hi, Bo.
I was actually just asking if you were
coming
in
on. From the cruise ship.
So that's two.
That's two times we've had people come in from cruise ships to watch the show.
The first time was
awesome is
Mr.
that?
Miller came on.
Where are you at right now, Bo? Tell us.
Yes. She's gonna tell us everything's. Yes. Hi, Steve. So
What's
Mark,
up, Tom Knott?
he says he's
Emily,
excited for the
Steven.
episode because Family Legend says that they're related to Black Bart and based Top Knot on that, making him a cousin of Bartholomew.
All right. Well, hopefully we can do you right tonight.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about because Bartholomew Roberts had a hell of a career.
And it is a 2-part episode. We just want to say that. So we're going to get into some...
it was a short life, but a
merry one. Of course, with that... Yes,
I was going to end the show with that,
Mike,
but I figure I'll start the show with that.
They're still on the ship.
We can kick it off now.
So they're on the ship in the middle of an ocean. So
where in the ocean?
Mikey and Bo are on a
cruise. I know we're on a ship.
They're not around us. They suck. Bahamas. Oh, speaking of Bahamas.
How perfect is that?
How about we start with our Just As Rum? Because this book is basically a Caribbean cookbook, which we've only made one recipe.
It's a rum cookbook.
Yes, and I made one rum recipe from this book. That was the spicy tomato soup.
Because it actually has food in it too.
Yes.
And drinks.
Yes.
We're just doing the drink part on the show. After the show, we do the food part.
I've been talking about doing little spurts of cooking this and doing a taste testing and an experiment, the Gulf of America.
Oh,
like
Lord.
The hat.
Here we go.
Which hat?
What's up, Mr. Willis?
So tonight's drink, if you guys remember it, drawn last week. Sorry. Make sure we're on the same page here. Drink of the week was Brown Eyed Girl.
For this week.
Was Brown.
Yes,
the one you drew last week.
The drink that's sitting on the bar right now
was Brown Eyed Girl. So
yes.
Brown Eyed Girl is no, Todd. Remember, we renamed it to Gulf of Mr. Willis. I don't know why. There's no ass in that at all. Sound is cutting in and out.
Uh-oh. What? No. We can't have that.
No, it's not.
Who's saying that?
Willis is.
Let's check
the
your
Pillage Gaily.
Check your equipment there, son, because we ain't got no problems here.
Well, we can't hear problems. If anybody else says we're cutting it out, then I'm really going to cry because I can't tell.
You can't check it on your phone?
Unless I turn it on, we can hear it.
Hold on, we're going to...
I don't want to do this because then it's going to stress me out, and I don't want to be stressed out. And we're going to hear a backfeed.
Just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to check it real quick.
Gulf of New Spain.
Is anyone else having issues with the sound other than Mr. Willis?
I'm really going to cry because I can't tell.
Yeah, it's just you, Mr.
Willis. That's Facebook. Hold on. I got
Facebook
both.
Sounds fine.
He's going to tell us everything's... Yes. Hi, Steve. Yeah, I think, Willis, you're full of shit.
Mikey said it sounds good to him.
All right. It's just him.
All right, cool. So
it's your connection. Not my problem. Where was I?
Yeah, Mr.
Damn
Willis,
it.
close and reload it. Maybe you're just having issues like Emily had.
Buffering issues.
So, yeah, back to the
Okay,
show.
drink. All right, now I need a drink. You guys
Not-
stress me out. I know there is a delay. I can tell you that. I know
Yeah,
that for a fact.
There's always a delay. Because I might swear at any moment.
Shut up.
And if you don't want to hear it, you can mute it real quick.
No, that's not how this works. All right, Brown Eyed Girl is Puerto Rico. It is 1 ounce dark rum, 1 ounce Kahlua, 1 ounce Bailey's liqueur, and 1 ounce light cream. Puerto Rico is huge, we say. Roll your eyes now. Diversified island. I know.
Obligatory eye roll.
Obligatory eye roll. From El Unique, it's 28,000 acre rainforest, hundreds of beaches, and Spanish architecture. I think we were just talking about the Gulf of Spanish. There is something for everyone. I really love Old San Juan with its cobblestone streets, charming hideaway restaurants, and stone walls. Using a shaker with a strainer, fill over the top, fill with ice, dark rum, and yada yada yada. Carefully pour first the Baileys, then the cream. Guess
the
what?
Yada 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 is a very important part of the strain.
Yeah, the yada 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 is that wanted me to layer. Guess what I didn't do? Layer. It wanted me to
We're not that complicated.
It wanted me to put the dark rum and Kahlua together, then the Baileys and cream. So it literally wanted to make it look like an eyeball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the cream on there, make it look like what? Yeah, no, we're good.
I'm drinking it.
Drink bitches. Yes, Farrell. Yes. So hashtag drink more rum. Oh, that's simple.
It's chocolatey but light.
It's a chocolate Russian. How many times have I called a couple of our drinks this week? They're on the show, chocolate Russians.
It's a dark Russian.
I like that. It's simple.
It's got a little rum.
You could taste the rum in it.
Oh yeah.
What's interesting about San Juan is actually I've been in San Juan several times. When my dad used to live down in St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, and when I'd go down to see him, it's just you. Everybody just said it was you.
Yep.
When we went down, I would my layover was always in San Juan before I would hit down to St. Thomas, and let me tell you, that was a runway to land in.
San Juan?
No.
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas.
Yeah, that's the one that goes downhill.
Yeah. Well, not downhill. It's the runway starts right off the water, and they got the rock break and everything right there. So
so like if you don't
short.
hit the brakes, you're going
short.
right in the water.
Well, no, we came in from the water side into inland.
Oh.
That's how, at least every time I flew in from San Juan, that's how we did. But I did that for, I think, 2 or 3 years when I used to fly down there, see my dad before he moved back up to the States. Really great experience. So I'll tell you what, there's something about being on a beach in your bathing suit at Christmas time.
It's awesome. That's what that is.
Normally I was down there for Christmas. So I was down there one year for, not Christmas, summer. Oh, sorry, you want to
Stop shaking and let me have a crack at it.
Okay, he's giving us coordinates. I don't know if I'm coherent enough for that one.
Oh, Miss McKay, you're way ahead of us on this. This drink is called a Prince Rupert.
A Prince Rupert.
Yep.
All right, for those of you playing along.
I'm afraid of this one already.
All right, here, give me the marker.
Little tag.
Oh yeah, you are afraid of this one.
Oh Lord,
and we might have to do a slight change to it. It's Bailey's Sambuca rum and milk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we might have to do a change on that one.
Yeah. Can we pull
have a care? Hi, Anthony. Yes, we will
do a backup.
Okay? Why not? Because
I'm not
Sambuca whiskey. At least there's different versions of it. There isn't of Sambuca, so I'm okay with Prince Albert.
Yeah.
No, it's Prince Rupert, not Prince Albert. I think at this point he would want a Prince Albert.
No, I don't want a Prince Albert. Oh, well, here. This is a brilliant.
That's a good idea.
What if we just switch them out?
What you got?
Go with this one instead.
What is it?
Sex on the Beach.
Oh. And let's see what they have. Sex on the Beach. This one, it's Chambord, Midori, and pineapple rum. I don't think that's any better, but if you want to do Sex on the Beach, we'll do Sex on the Beach next week.
We could do sex on the beach,
We are
baby.
going to kick Prince Albert off of the throne and go with sex on the beach.
Prince Rupert.
Whatever. Albert, Rupert, all those.
One of those princes.
Freaking.
That man's getting kicked off the throne.
Hold on. So I was told.
He's not taking over the throne.
To pull Bo up. No, I don't see Bo. Last I see her is at port because she's not on Google Maps. I guess you're on Wi-Fi. I don't know. Bo, you're not sharing with me anymore. What the hell?
You're off the map, Bo.
What the hell? Yes, Bo is at sea. That's why she didn't join us this past weekend. This past weekend, we were at the Richmond Churchill Irish Festival. Because St. Patty's Day was 17th and the Irish Festival was 15th and 16th.
Mm-hmm.
We go every year.
We went on the 15th.
Yep, Saturday.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. We go out there. We support all small businesses. Dethroned. Hey, Will. It was great. The weather was mediocre.
Yeah,
we were expecting 60s and it was 48.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
We didn't go in kit, but we went in kilts. We forgot to add the L. We did add the L, so we're in kilts. You're in airplane mode. Well, that explains why I can't see where you're at. Airplane mode won't show me.
Yeah.
So
no signal, no bow.
Unfortunately, we were supposed to have a house full of pirates at Port Brusso. Things happen. We get it. We missed everybody, but we still had a good time. I made Guinness stew. Oh my God, it was so good. And then we watched Boondocks 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was a Boondock Saints marathon.
Then we had a fire pit. Hey, they got power hookup for us at Big Island. They're asking how many is coming. Do you know? No, and you're asking me now?
Are you trying to talk business while we're doing our live stream, Mr. Willis?
Tell her we'll give her a number this weekend. My spreadsheet's on the computer. What are you doing to me? Really? If any of you don't know, well, that leads us into the next one. Our first LCC event is at the Celtic Festival next weekend at Big Island, Virginia, which is right outside of Roanoke, Smith Mountain Lake, where we do. It's our first ever event.
Since Mr. Willis brought it up.
Mr. Willis wants to know what our count is, and I'm not sure off the top of my head because my mind's right now in the show. But I'm one of the officers of the crew, so I help keep everybody wrangled and on par with everything that's going. It's going to be
if I had to make a guess, it would be like 10.
10, 15, probably more than that.
Somewhere
I don't know.
there.
I'll go look at the list. Go look on the event page. It's on there. Yeah, you got Tess, you got Linda, you got Bo and Mikey, you got Jay and I, you got Lindsay. Obviously, Todd, you're going to be there. So that's 8. I think Mr. Atley, that's 9.
We'll just call it 10.
We'll
just
call it 10 to start. With one big ass tent because
so there's your
Tess
number.
is bringing her big tent. So anyway, it's going to be it's Celtic, and we're coming there as pirates, and we're going to be talking Irish and Scottish pirates.
Celtic pirates. Pirates. I'm actually going to have fun with this one, and since my family is Scottish.
Your family and my family. We established this on the Jacobite episode. Thank you very much.
We did, and I'm going to portray myself as a member of my family. How about that? But back in the 15 era, so that is going to be fun.
Well, we're also not firing black powder, so my psychotic ass is deciding to make a full new kit so I can wear a full ladies kit for the event. What the
ladies
hell
kit,
was
right?
I thinking? Yes.
I know.
I have the kilt. I have the skirt. The page says 13 is coming.
Go with 13.
Okay, then we'll go with 13.
Lucky 13.
Just make it 15 and make it an easy number. Oh, because Jackson and Stephanie are coming. They're coming.
So there you go.
With Lirabelle. So you got to count the little one. Brownie should be there. Yeah, I think 13 is a good safe number at the moment until I start harassing everybody. But I made a new petticoat. I need a new ladies jacket. I got to make a new pair of stays. COVID was not kind to me over the years.
And she found some hay clam fabric and made a kilt for me. And I made a Hay family crest and all kinds of cool shit.
Oh, they got farm animals all around, which is why we ain't shooting. That makes sense. I'm cool with that.
Don't want to scare the animals.
So I'm looking forward to it because we get to kind of take. Obviously, we have a very skilled crew with our interpretations, and we are able to talk more than just guns. We'll have the guns there. We're gonna
have
flags,
some good
textile
interpretations. Yeah, I'm gonna do a flag interpretation. It'll be cool. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, I'll have pictures. I don't do it very frequently, especially if I don't have to run a gun. It makes it a lot easier for decision to wear ladies' kit. So I'm working really hard. I was telling Janet about it, so I got to take some pictures on it. So Richmond Festival. So we went from the Richmond Irish Festival. We're going to Celtic. This weekend's kind of our, I would say, easy weekend, but it's going to be more of our prep weekend because it is the first weekend before an event with the crew.
Yep, gotta make sure everything's lined up. Trailers squared away.
We're gonna bring some
squared away.
We're gonna bring some merch with us. So we're gonna bring cockades. I might try to attempt. We'll see how that goes. Making some generic kilts to bring with us, since I got that really gorgeous fabric. So we apparently made a local's donkey faint when we fired our cannons at an event. Oh God.
Oh my God.
So it's not fainting goats, it's fainting donkeys.
We can't claim that one yet.
No, just scare little children every time we fire.
Yeah.
And on a note, before we do get into talking about tonight's subject, Order of Leviathan nominations. If you haven't noticed anything, nominations are on, have you noticed from our website or any website, nominations are open for 4 more days. The 24th closing at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So that gives you to 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 25th. But just get your shit in. If you know somebody, go check out the order website. Go check out the order page. Go look at our website, our Facebook page. We have posts on there. So if you know somebody who's worthy, nominate. Join us, join family where we support each other. We look at those who have done awesome within the community. Emily, Robert, Todd, Top Knot. I think those are all myself.
Yeah, you.
Myself.
Yeah, those are all the people.
We're all order members. We're all part of it. So very proud to be a part of it. Very awesome group, and we're excited about how much we support and love each other. So there's more coming through. But tonight, to get nom your noms while you can. Molly says, nom your noms. Nom 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 nom. Are you not nominating about the donkey that fainted for? I'm gonna nominate the donkey that sacrificed himself. What an ass. So tonight is episode 10. So we have this week, next week, and only one more episode before we finish up season 12 and get episode 10, season 12.
There you go.
And get into our season, and we start changing things up at the end of the year. Jackass. We decided we try to pick a pirate on each season, and we've done a couple. We did Sam Bellamy. We've done Captain Morgan. I think we done a 2-part episode of some other people. Can't wait to announce my nom. I'm looking forward to see who is getting nominated. Really am. I know one, but I like to see who else. Well, I technically I know 2. But tonight's is overview of Bartholomew Roberts, part 1. We are going to talk about why he is one of the most. We're going to build up into why he's one of the most successful pirates.
Yeah.
And from how he became to a pirate, I guess, is what we're going to get into. So
yeah, we're going to start with his early career tonight. So it's going to go in chronological order.
Why don't we start with step 1?
Where is he from?
When was he born? First off, when was he from? Where was he born? Wales.
He's
a Scottish boy.
Welsh. Yeah. Well, kind of.
In between.
Scotland, Wales, and Britain are
somewhere in there.
They're close by.
I think Wales.
They're close by each other.
I think Wales, I would say, is the in between.
Yeah, he was born on the opposite coast. So where
In
my family's
between,
from,
in
the
between
East.
time, in the meantime.
Yeah. So yeah, he was born in 1682.
Yeah, he's probably one of the only pirates that we're actually going to talk about tonight that's had a definitive birth date and a definitive death date with all the research we've been doing. Whales, not that whales. Whale, what do you want me to say now?
No H in this whales.
No
There
way.
was.
What the hell are you talking about with your whales?
So yeah, they pretty sure that he had an early. They're not really sure about his early life.
As
They're
much with
pretty.
everything.
They're pretty sure he had an early career in on board ships.
Well, he
because
joined the Royal Navy. That was documented.
Okay,
At
so
one
there you
point.
go.
He was in the Royal Navy. That
Which
was
is
documented. And then he moved to merchant ships.
how he was.
He was born of a.
It's probably how he became a good navigator.
He was born of a whale. Well, we're not talking about Jonah the whale now, guys. Come on. It definitely was involved in the merchant and slave trades because, as we talk about how he got into piracy, was because he was not with the Navy. He was with a merchant ship.
Right, which is how he became so skilled as an early. Why he was skilled as an early pirate.
And he was skilled because he was. If he went from being in the Royal Navy to merchant, he was more willing and very educational type of man. He was definitely one of the more smarter pirates out there. We definitely do say. Sirmu is the best name. Wales is actually a derogatory name, means foreigner, given to them by the people who conquered them. I did not know that, Janet. That is very interesting.
Hi, Lindsay.
Simir. I probably am saying that wrong, but I get Kimru. Thank you, Kimru. I was like, I know I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it like a freaking American. I want to try to pronounce it, but I don't know what language I should be working towards when I start explaining it. So that's really interesting. I want to understand that more because a lot of when you start talking about the pirates and where they're and maybe that's why they call them Welsh or Wales from Wales is because there are
Wales.
foreigners.
They're Welsh. That was
Did he spout off a lot? Don't be a dork.
We'll keep it at that.
I am going to keep it at that. If we're talking about Wales, don't be a dork. But his capture and turn into piracy in 1719, he was captured by Hal Davis near West Africa. And he was really reluctant to join the crew. I mean, if you were in the Royal Navy and you were going into merchant ships and all that, why would like an honest? I'm an honest. When we talk about us being honest sailors, he was trying to be an honest sailor.
Well, I think Hal Davis picked him because, for one, he was Welsh, and Hal Davis was Welsh. They were basically from the same area in Wales. You
should use Kimru.
Kimru?
You should use the term Kimru tonight.
So Kimru.
He was Kimru.
They were both from the Kimru area.
Well said, husband.
And I imagine Hal Davis found this out, and also that he was a good navigator, because obviously pirates wanted skilled people. And as far as the other thing that was known is that he was a decent carpenter. So obviously he would have been a good crew member to have.
He was a very talented man. He was very, I believe, religious as well when we're doing this. And Will, I did not know Reese was Kimru. I will have to. And I said I'd come see you at DGS. I promise I will. I just haven't had an opportunity. If you want to see my schedule, yeah, you can take over for me. Honest Seaman, they are a bunch of blowhards. All right, between you and
all right, so
Steven said there are a bunch of blowhards. Between Steven and Willis tonight, you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna stop paying attention to you for a minute.
So, but his departure from going into just normal merchant fisherman into piracy really came about after his capture from Hal Davis.
Yes.
And
he really wasn't on Hal Davis's ship for very long before things went wrong for Davis. I was only, as far as I know, it was only like a month and a half.
It was very short
Yeah, it was
because,
a very short time between when he got on Hal Davis's ship and when Hal Davis was killed,
but if you
basically.
actually talk about and this is a little bit of a sidebar, and I also thought it was very interesting, the dynamics between Hal Davis and Bartholomew Roberts. Bartholomew Roberts, as we talk here, was captured on the Princess, that was the merchant ship he was on, in 1719. He was reluctant, but was then persuaded by Davis to become part of the pirate crew because he's like, it was better pay, which it was. That probably was not a leap
No,
for them to convince,
just coming from the Royal Navy. No.
or even for merchant ships, because even then they
Yeah.
were treated like crap. It was, and he was obviously Bartholomew Roberts was a smart man, and Hal Davis was too, and that was probably appealing to him. Yo, bro, you got skills. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Dude's got skills.
He's definitely have.
We're both from Kimru, man. I got you.
He's like, you got skills. You got skills. You're too valuable. They're not going to you off to the side of the deck here. So, so Roberts became a pirate because of Captain Davis's death. What Malice was saying, and that was
they had. I forget what governor it was where they were. One of the places they stopped.
Oh, you're talking about how Davis was killed?
Yeah, the governor of the island that they stopped at invited Hal Davis ashore, and he got a.
You said he was ambushed, right?
Yes, he got a crew, part of the crew together, and they went ashore and they were ambushed, and Hal Davis was killed during this excursion, and that is when the rest of the crew ended up voting to make Roberts the captain.
That's where like, damn you.
That's how he became the captain of that ship.
Damn you, Roberts.
And what happened was
no, Adams. I'm sorry. Damn you, Adams. I was trying to think of what's so close to that I'm totally missing.
What happened was, as soon as Roberts became the captain of the ship, they turned around and avenged Davis's death, and basically on their way out of there, torched the ships and
that was before Roberts was voted captain. Sorry, like thinking three trains of thought. And my dog is licking. Stop it! It's really annoying. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, so they were from the crew that left and came back, and then Roberts was voted upon for new captain. And a lot of the time with the pirate ships back then was the mutiny and all that, and they decided who was going to be the new captain. And in this case, it was Roberts.
Where are you going? She's over there making our dog stop.
He's going to town. He's going to make his paws bald.
Leave him alone. He'll be fine.
No, it's driving me nuts. So anyway, going back to the comparisons, because I thought this was interesting. The Davis, so that's Robert's story. Roberts became a pirate after Davis's death, and the outcome of it is, and what we know of him, he became a powerful and disciplined pirate warlord, I guess, for a better term. Which, when we get into part 2, we're going to talk a lot about why he was considered that.
Yeah, he was a fairly narcissistic person.
Don't get too much into it. Yeah, you can talk about his basic personality.
Yeah, this was his personality. So I think that led to him being kind of controlling, which is, later on why he came up with articles and wanted to, his past in being on a Royal Navy ship, that combined with his narcissism kind of led to him being a little bit controlling. So
I told you that you can come here and groom my dogs. You're gonna be like absolutely want to murder me when you see
you
that bad
gotta.
they need to see.
Well, hey, that's a good reason for you guys.
That's good reason for you
One of
guys
the
to come
good
up,
reasons for you guys to come visit.
Yeah, like Blackbeard
We
Pirate
will
Festival.
absolutely let you groom our dogs while you're here.
Blackbeard Pirate Festival. I got a spare room if you want to come stay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blackbeard Pirate Festival, and you can come over and visit for that.
So how
Anyway,
I want to. That was how Roberts became pirate with Hal Davis. Hal Davis became a pirate is because of Edward England. We really haven't talked too much about Edward England, at least since we've been on the YouTube.
we've not.
But
He's probably one of the pirates we should cover.
I think so. We got some good pirates after doing some more of this research, especially as I start looking at that spider web, and I'm like, ooh, I want to talk about all of them. I need a good German as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet
yes,
you
do. Emily's probably not going to be down for that shit, though.
No. So Hal Davis was on a ship called the Cadogan. Cadogan, I think is what the name is. Give me dates. I'll give you dates. Cadogan, which was in 1718 when ship was captured. Davis was reluctant at first, but became a pirate. But he was more threatened to be a part of the crew. Difference from when Davis convinced Roberts, hey, be a part of the crew. England's like, be a part of the crew. And should I mention that England is Irish at this point? Well, sure, an extra charge.
Yeah.
The key turning point for Davis, Davis became a pirate captain later on. He wasn't exactly a pirate captain, obviously, at first when he joined the crew. Then he became a captain, and his would you say his leadership style was more trickster style pirate leader than versus what Roberts was disciplined and very warlord like, which is interesting when you think that Roberts was following in Davis' footsteps and how respectful he was with Davis and all that stuff. But just the sheer fact about how they were both, I'll get the fire hose, about how they were both captured, both turned into piracy. One needed a little bit more strong arming than the other. They both turned into captains, and the outcome of it is just their styles were different. So
yes, and don't get it wrong, because Roberts was, I mean, he wasn't afraid to let loose.
no,
You know, his crew had a good time while they were doing what they were doing, but they were still disciplined, and Roberts was not afraid to obviously take ships.
he was.
So his crew
They
was
were well
pretty
off.
tight. You know, he kept them in line, and they kept them happy. You know, they were taking ships left and right. And
When he says left and right, from the time frame of 1719, which is when he took his piracy career started in 1719. He was killed in 1722. In that 4-year time, 19, 20,
hence
21,
the short
22,
life, but a merry one.
4-year time span, 470 ships. He is the most documented pirate to take ships. Bellamy has the most
He's
booty
the most documented ship
captures.
yeah,
Not so much,
for lack of a better
which
term
is
on
interesting because Bellamy has the highest gross booty. You know, we talk about he's the most wealthiest
that. He didn't
pirate.
gross the most money, but he
No.
had the most ships.
Which is also kind of messed up because I think Bellamy had an even shorter career. So I don't know how good of that career it was if you start looking at that.
It's funny because they keep saying, yeah, this guy had had the best career, and like took the most of this and the most of that, and like they keep saying different people, like who did what, the most of what.
Yeah, Hal Davis was marooned. He was marooned with a couple of his crew. It's not a lot of supplies and everything. Where they eventually made it to a harbor in St. Augustine, was saved and came back. So it is a good point, Steve.
I'm guessing this was before you met Roberts.
Yes, because obviously he was with Roberts and
Yeah,
he died. But did you die?
Yes, I did. Not long after I met Roberts.
So, but Roberts was really quick to earn the respect for his skills because he was a smart man. And I think if you go out and with whatever you do, you show you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Well,
earn the street cred.
they're gonna
Yo, bro,
they're gonna quickly
street
learn.
cred.
Obviously, his navigation skills probably played a big part in
His street cred came into here, and we're like, I believe you, man. I believe
that.
you. We're
Down,
right
yo.
there. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna knock
That
you.
ring.
Did I really hurt you?
No,
Oh,
I'm kidding.
okay. I'm sorry.
Good Lord,
I
really?
thought I had another victim. My honor ring.
Anyway.
We call it Thor's hammer in camp because I forget I'm wearing it.
Moving. Yeah, don't hit me in the head with that thing.
But when Roberts became captain after Howe died, they started all the raids off the African coast, which I thought was interesting. Instead of coming to the Caribbean, they focused all of their attention on the other side of the Atlantic. But he did show very strict signs of discipline and leadership, even before the peak of his career, I would say, came into it. So, what about establishing the legend? What like Black Bart? He never really adopted the persona Black Bart.
Well, here's the thing about Black Bart. So, first off, his
real
name is John. So
John.
he was born John Roberts.
Which was we were talking about John Roberts.
This was the narcissistic part of him. He didn't like that name. So he named himself Bartholomew because he thought it sounded much cooler than
There is also
John.
another pirate we thought that he liked was Bartholomew Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the name. And Bartholomew Sharp, decades before, was and I've never heard of that name before. And when we were doing research on that,
he came about the name. He didn't like John, so he changed it to Bartholomew.
Yes.
Which sounds so.
But Black Bart was not what he went by during the Golden Age piracy.
He didn't go by that during his lifetime. That was actually given to him after.
Here.
There you go. There's one portrayal of him.
And then here's another portrayal of him. This is actually
so which do you like better?
Yeah. You like this one? Who
looks
like a pompous ass, or this one who looks like a pompous ass? I mean, look at that
mustache! I'm guessing that if you wanted to call him a narcissist, the first one would probably be the better one to go with. That one doesn't look like a guy that really gives too much of a crap about himself.
Bo says she's on top deck with a drink watching the stars. Listen to you guys. Oh my god, we made it to the stars.
Aw.
We are awesome.
So
it's destiny. I've been expecting your call.
What?
You mean Sea Creed? No. Dinner theater. All right, we'll come back to us. Let's come back to Battle Selection.
Yeah.
There we are.
Where are you going with all this?
I'm reading comments and everything. Sorry. Sidebarring.
Yeah.
But those were two images. The cigar cards I thought were really cool. There's actually a huge collection of a whole bunch of different parts.
That
colorful Barty.
That painting of him it's hilarious because those two depictions of him are completely different.
Yes.
So the Black Bart thing didn't come at all. He didn't go by that during his lifetime.
He didn't claim himself to do that at all.
I don't remember exactly where that came from.
It came during the history of pirates is when Charles Johnson, whoever the hell actually did that. You want me to show?
I don't know if for sure if he's the one that gave him that name.
I don't know, but let's go to. There you go. That's the wood carving in the history of pirates by Charles Johnson. That's what that's from.
The colorized version of
it. The colorized, as you said, Stephen, colorful Barty.
Yes.
I don't like him saying Barty, but we'll go on with it. I like whoever did the coloring on this one did a really good job. I'm not really too sure where this one came from.
That's why I picked it because it was pretty cool.
Some of these images came from Pinterest, but we know this is a wood carving from that book because I own that book. We own several copies of that book. We own a hard copy and we own a digital copy of this book. So
Yeah.
Looks like a dandy. Call him Macaroni. It's a good thing he wasn't swallowing when you said that. And they call him Macaroni.
Okay.
Yankee Doodle went to town. Wait a minute, we're on the wrong continent for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the English.
It is. But anyway, that's what is in that book is where more of the Black Bart persona was listed, and that was way after
that was Rev
Golden Age
War
Parson.
stuff. We're talking earlier. Yeah.
You can only read one book at a time. I can only keep up with one book at a time sometimes.
So back to what we were talking about.
Yes.
It was not documented that he was ever called Black Bart during the Golden Age Parson
or
when he lived. This was after. So he was given that name sometime after that.
But the description of his flags,
which he was documented to have several flags.
You want me to go into? It's further in the slideshow. I can pull
it's fine. Pull it up. You get it. If we can get to it.
Yep.
There it is.
This is. Oh shoot.
Oh. There it is.
Here we go.
There we go. That's one of them. There are several. As far as the research I came across, he had upwards of 16 flags.
16? Really?
Yes.
Is that what the number they came up with?
Yes.
That seems excessive.
Well, he was an excessive kind of guy.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense why you would have, I don't know.
He had something. So,
I paint, there's 2 different flags I think I paint. It's this one and one other one. Those are the ones, when I do my black flag ornaments, I only do the 2. Because, God, if I did 16, it'd be a whole set. Black Bart sounds more threatening than Dandy John. It's probably, I think that's, we talk about Blackbeard. Pretty sure that's why he changed his name.
Yes.
You guys are excessive tonight. You're being dandies. No, you're not. I'm just kidding. But with what he was talking about, all the different flags, along with the flags and using those flags, is what he used to rapidly expand his fleet, and which kind of started making him into the legend that everybody heard him of, and was just.
A lot of the reason that he became legendary is also the way he came into harbor. They were always very animated and blowing horns and just going. The crew was going crazy, and they would just come in and take over the place, and they basically intimidated everybody into surrendering to him. So they didn't have to always do much to get to take the ships that they took, because they were so intimidating and so loud and so crazy that everybody just surrendered.
Speaking of so loud and so crazy, but he rapidly expanded his fleet. And if you're looking at the fleet and you're like, oh my God, they got like 4 or 5 ships there all of a sudden.
And a lot of times they probably, most of the time they probably have more than that.
And that alone, you talk about firepower. Have a care. I told you that's why I keep finding them all. Rugby.
Yeah.
It was just Mama.
Now she's freaking out the dogs. They're like, what is that noise?
They know what it is. They just want to go fetch. They're really good dogs. They like to play fetch. And he starts to begin to accumulate a massive fortune through this piracy, but not massive like Black Sam Bellamy, as we have established. Because Sam Bellamy is the richest pirate up there. Black Bart did make it in the top 10. He just wasn't number 1.
Well, he had the fleet thing going on more than the money thing.
Yes.
And, they spread their wealth between the crews and everybody he was in charge of. So
this is the first time we've actually gotten through the conversation quicker than what we intended to. So we got 15 minutes left. So Robert, I think Roberts quit playing with your pew pew. I like my pew pew. Pew pew. I can't wait for us to fire the real ones. Damn it. Pretty sure I just put that in the member chat. I'm like, this is my replacement for the
He was
time being.
so the the way he became well known was for his because of his tactics and the way he came into harbor and the way he took ships and his treatment of his crew. Everybody knew him for that, and that's what he built his reputation on. So,
I just don't.
and he, he was in the Caribbean. He was off the coast of Africa. He was up in Nova Scotia, and when he was up in Nova Scotia, he did a lot of damage up there too. So everybody knew who he was because of all these things. What are you doing?
I overexerted. I got
Did you
excited.
break it?
I know I rammed it twice.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that is what she said. I totally rammed it twice, and I'm trying to get into it. But
She's over here breaking her cannon.
that's what happens when you ram it twice. And
Yeah.
I don't have the right ram with me to fix it.
Just how about we just put it down and stop playing with her?
It's a misfire. It's a misfire.
So
See, you guys got me distracted, and I rammed it twice.
that was
I've done that before.
the main reason that he became as infamous as he did.
There's a lot with it, and I think the biggest part why he became so infamous with his persona is we talk about, and this will be a lot in what we're discussing next week, is that he was the end of the golden age piracy. You know, the definitive line at the finish.
A lot of historians kind of go that route because of when the amount of things that he did in his short career and when it happened. So they, as big as he was, when somebody that big goes down, they consider that the end of the golden age. I mean, it was in 1722, so
Which
it wasn't really. There were pirates after him, but nobody as big.
Blackbeard.
Yeah, but Blackbeard wasn't as. Blackbeard was famous for other reasons. Blackbeard didn't take as many ships and.
Wait a minute, no, Blackbeard was 17.
He was 17.
November 22nd, 1718?
Yes.
Okay, because I always get the year and the date mixed. So you're right. Bart died in 1722.
So yes, so
yeah, thank you. Yeah, November 22, 1718. You just said 22. That don't help me with me trying to remember. November 22. Yeah,
November 22nd, 1718. That's when Blackbeard died.
Yes, we know the year.
Bartholomew Roberts died in
February of 1722. Which is why I think they said
but the big difference between Blackbeard and Bartholomew Roberts is Blackbeard was more famous for
grape shot necktie. How he died.
It was he died. Yeah,
he died on a
ship in a ship battle.
Yep, and
shot with grape shot.
He died like a man.
But like we were saying, Blackbeard was famous for other things and is more of his reputation as a pirate than actually taking as many ships as Bartholomew Roberts did. They were famous for different reasons. No, what did she say?
She says, "I wish you could hear us laughing when you were doing your dar 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 dar."
This is why you guys stick around for this.
This is the humor in all of this. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this damn thing out. Oh, look, my shot.
Yes, Mr. Willis. Both of them were awesome pirates. And that's part of the reason that we wanted to cover Bartholomew Roberts and we're taking 2 episodes to do it because he deserves 2 episodes. The guy did a whole lot in the short time he was around, and the short time he was a pirate.
I don't think his head came off as well. That was not what I think it did.
This, as far as the story that I saw in my research, he they didn't even know he was dead until they turned him over and saw that he was bleeding out, and basically realized that he had died. A crew member discovered him, slumped over a cannon. Is the story that I saw. You, will you stop with that thing, please?
I am, because I just lost the
We
trigger.
got a show to do here.
I just lost the trigger. I've been able to put the damn thing back together when we were on the show. Not tonight, apparently.
Hey, how about we do a show?
I want to play with my cannon. I don't get to play with a cannon until 2 more. No, now it's another month. Long time, short time. You love you, long time. No, that's not how that works.
So that was the wonderful story.
Oh no, wait a minute. Let's go back to the images
of the early career.
We didn't show,
or most of the career.
You found
that right there.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about how he named his ships, so we can talk about that for a hot minute.
Yes.
The Royal Fortune. So he was. The funny thing about him
he
is
actually had. There's 3 ships that he was. That was part of his basic armada. He had the Royal Fortune, which was his flagship.
Yes.
Then he had the Ranger, and Little Ranger. That was so original.
But the other famous thing is that every ship that he took as his flagship, he named the Royal Fortune. So he had like 4 or 5 versions of the Royal Fortune.
I would believe it. That was somebody who was just like.
And what you see on the screen is one of them.
This was another one, and I don't know about the flags on the back end, on the aft. The one top and the foresail, that is one of the Black Bart flags that we've seen. The lower one, I think, is England. You're laughing your ass off.
We don't know for sure, because obviously we were talking about earlier, he had like 16 flags. So
I don't know
whether this picture is completely accurate. Not positive, but it's a cool picture either way.
Will says he's laughing his ass off because I can't believe you ever said that. That was funny as hell. I don't know. What did I say?
I say that all the time.
And then the flag. These were just the 2 images that I was talking about.
This is his main flag. He's got several.
Yep.
There's another one of them in that picture of the Royal Fortune.
Royal Fortune is a great name. It is actually. I mean, you don't. You look at some of the repeated ship names. You know, like Queen Anne's Revenge.
He obviously loved that name.
Adventure.
Stuck with it. So
long time, short time.
So yeah, that was his thing, and that just obviously plays to the narcissist in him, because he just couldn't give it up.
I think he was more of a control freak, and you wonder what.
Well, it's also easy to remember. You know, you just keep naming
your
ship
that
the same
is true.
thing.
I mean, if you're just wanting the upgrade, you're like, "It's the damn name of my ship."
What ship are we on? Oh yeah, it's the Royal Fortune.
It's just a bigger. It's just a bigger fortune. It's the Wheel of Fortune, folks. Spreading that wheel. He was just probably looking for consistency, and he really didn't give a shit that it was a different ship from what it was before. Now he's like, this is my flagship. This is what it is. This is the name that's associated with me. And it's just interesting because, who were we talking about? William Dampier. We did an episode on William Dampier, like a couple seasons ago. And we were talking, and the Wild Scott skit, the little short, like, put him up. That one?
Mm-hmm.
That was from that episode, because we were talking about his home life and how it was documented. And it's really weird that there really is not much documented on Black Bart. I mean, we know when he was born. You know he was born. Why can't we figure out the in-between time, in the meantime, from when he was born to when he started joining the Royal Navy? That's the part that's interesting. I looked. I really did look, and there's not a lot from his time before he got into the Royal Navy. And when you look at the Black Flag, what's the other book? There's like 3 books that I have on the shelf. I was skimming through.
My theory on that is probably because of his uh, lot in life. He was probably not very well off. So, the poor people back then didn't have a whole lot of documentation to go along with
Mm-hmm.
their lives.
Yeah.
It would just be you were born at this time in this place, and then after that,
Dust in the wind, so to
yeah,
speak.
you're not going to get documented until his
Shush.
if he started his career in the Royal Navy, it's going to be birth, where you were born, and then you were in the Royal Navy at this time because they were possibly documenting that portion of his life.
So
So
Mark has said
that would be my theory on why, and that's a lot with a lot of the people back then. You might have documents on when and where you were born, but from there until adulthood, you're not going to have anything showing where you went and what you did until you were an adult. And even that far, you
okay.
know, this is what we always talk about, especially with pirates. A lot of the documentation we have from pirates was when they went on trial. There happens to be
Royal.
more with Black Bart because he was a writer and he was good at writing and he had a handle on language and he wrote a lot. So that lends to more documentation on him. Not with a lot of other pirates. A lot of other pirates weren't as well educated. Blackbeard was more educated, so we have a little bit more documentation on him, but as far as his early life, we don't have any documentation on that either.
Well, I was just going to list some of the books that I was referring to. The Republic of Pirates by Colin Woodward, Under the Black Flag by David Cordonley, and Pirate Hunter of the Caribbean by David Cordonley are the 3 books that we have. I have Villain of All Nations, Atlantic Pirates in the Golden Age by Marcus Rediker. I can't say I've actually sat down and read it. And another book that popped up while we were doing the research on it, I just didn't have time to get it and actually read it, is Black Bart Roberts, The Greatest Pirate of Them All by Terry Breverton. It's a detailed biography that explores Robert's life, rise to power, impact of piracy. Be very interesting to read that after we've had this episode to understand it. And Janet actually suggested another one. Said It's a Pirate I Must Be by Richard Sanders is a good book, so we'll have to check that out. Stationed into Buku Bay. Oh God, you guys!
We're not reading your comments right
You,
now.
Stephen,
Between you
you
and
are
Willis.
feeding into Willis. That's what you're
Yeah.
doing. And then Top Knot said it was Bart's habit of naming so many ships something fortune that inspired Top Knot ship name outrageous fortune. P.S. That sticker's on the back of our trailer.
Awesome.
That sticker that you guys gave us when we were in St. Augustine is on the back of our trailer. So we love that.
Yeah.
Me do everything you want. You're not doing everything I want because you're pissing me off.
That's a good little bit of information to know.
So those are some of the books that are. Thank you, Janet. At least somebody else is out here.
Now you know what we deal with when we go on our reenacting.
No, it's not even on reenacting. It's on a daily basis. And our off on our crew chat. It's like, what the hell?
We have to deal with this on almost a daily basis. So
no, just Todd. You're right. It is just Todd. That's get what it really is like. So those are some good books.
We're coming back next week and talking more about this because there's a whole lot that we did not cover tonight too.
So next week we're going to talk about
more specifics,
his
probably
articles. some more
Is
specific about battles.
some of the raids that he did,
Yes.
the battles that he was a part of, and things that he did while he was pirating.
Yeah, that part is more exciting, and there's more information on it. This kind of a little dragged out, but we like to establish the person before we get into the fun stuff. That's what we try to do.
The
at
fun
least.
and crazy stuff.
Everything. Yes, we try to talk about
tell you
everything.
everything.
Everything we try to tell you. If we don't, we educate you as much as we know.
Because he deserves a second episode. Because dude was something.
If they consider him to be the end of the Golden Age of piracy, I definitely think that he is a two-part of the show, and somebody that needs a little bit more attention to, versus looking at Blackbeard. I mean, we all know Blackbeard, we all know Sam Bellamy, and Black Bart. I think we've heard about it. I would say he's more of a gentleman pirate by the way he dresses versus Steve Bonnet. Definitely had more balls than Steve Bonnet.
He was, yeah.
Bartholomew Roberts. He definitely had more balls than Steve Bonnet.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. So, Steve Bonnet.
Love you a long time. You were killing me, bud.
Sam Bellamy was killing it too. So, I mean, Steve Bonnet, yeah, he definitely had more guts and probably more smarts.
Will says we're starting to go Golden Age piracy. Well, hopefully it lasts longer than 20 years. Which each piracy age lasted was the first and second one. Oh, I'm about to lose a button. You need to fix that before the next event.
So, Mr. Willis, when does this new Golden Age start? Did it already start, or
I think
we
it
just
started
now?
According to Mr. Willis, probably started, 16, 18, somewhere around there?
I would say, I'm going to guess he's going to say 16 to whenever we end it.
Now. It'll never end.
Whenever we finish
it. Will never end. Take us crown. It's not going to happen.
Starting now. All right.
Now.
We're starting now.
We're starting now.
The new Golden Age.
So I think we'll cap the night off for that conversation. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully it was informative for those who don't know about Bartholomew Roberts. We were able to educate you enough in the
yes,
anything
and we weren't
new.
Too ridiculous tonight.
Boring, vague. We're trying. There's a lot of information.
There's a lot more to talk about, so come back next week.
Definitely and catch back.
We'll continue the conversation.
Part 2. And remember, next week's part 2. We only got 2 episodes left before we finish season 12. Yeah. Because we are about to get crazy busy with the crew. And we're really excited about it. And love you long time. Good night. Shut up. We got a lot of good stuff coming up this summer. We're really trying to do some things. We want to get some footage from the crew, some backstage. Just wait. I am going to get Roberts and everybody in St. Augustine on bad dad pirate jokes because they brought it upon themselves.
Yes.
It is on Mother Pirates. So next week, catch us for part 2 when we get really in depth and all that, the really fun stuff. We're really excited about that. More images, more, hopefully not so much bloodshed. This is PG-13, so to speak. So, and then, like I said, we got 2 more weeks. And then, actually, we got 3 weeks before we show up in Florida.
Yes.
We keep talking about the pirate jokes. So, lots of shenanigans.
We're going to raid Florida.
And there goes my dog ringing the bell.
Yep.
Love you guys. Drinking so much fun from you guys. Hey, that's not fair. You ain't come back and drink with us. Miss you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you guys. I'm telling you, the names are getting longer every week. Will, Rita, Sunny Boy, Steven, Bo, Todd, Emily, Robert.
All you guys.
I know I'm missing people. Emily. I already said Emily. Lindsay. Linda. Where's Tess?
Yeah.
Anyway. Till next week. Business is my pressure. Your pressure is my business. We'll pressure them to like PA. Till next time. # Drink more rum. Night. Well, where's my straw?